Dear brother, it's estimated 12.3 million adults and children throughout the world are in forced labor, bonded labor, or forced prostitution. Girls are systematically discriminated against solely on the basis of gender. As a result, women make up 70% of the world's poor. The facts indicate women and girls are most vulnerable to being trafficked.
Aisha was hired by a diplomat to work in another country. This led to a life of domestic servitude, where she lived on dog food and was eventually thrown from a window when her services were no longer needed.
Harshani was forced into marriage by her parents in order to compensate for the wrongful death of a neighbor. She was enslaved, beaten, and raped by her new husband's family.
Marie, an upper middle-class girl, was drugged, raped, and tortured by an underground group. She was forced into sexual slavery with the use of threats against her family.
This is the trafficking of women and girls.
Dear sister, women from Somalia, Tanzania, and Kenya are trafficked to the Middle East for domestic servitude.
Girls from reservations in Canada and the United States are trafficked domestically for sex and via international freighters to lives of slavery abroad.
Women from the former Soviet Union nations are trafficked through prostitution rings to Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, Belarus, and Israel.
Migrant women are lured from Asia and Latin America to the developed countries with false promises of better lives and work abroad.
Girls in the United Kingdom are deceived by female classmates and groomed to be sexually exploited on the streets.
The trafficking of women and girls is all over the map.
Dear Representative, I'm writing to you regarding the United Nations Palermo Protocol, which calls on countries to prevent trafficking, to prosecute offenders, and to protect victims. Didn't we sign it?
Our president advocates zero tolerance on trafficking, but he is limited to speech and takes no action.
There is no control of people entering and leaving the country.
Due to a lack of trafficking awareness, investigation and prosecution are not happening.
The violation of these girls and women is rarely brought to public notice by authorities. The victims do not disturb the peace. Instead, peace is slowly and silently destroyed in them.
When the victims are rescued, they are held in government-run shelters and detention centers. NGOs and legal representatives are denied access to them.
Rather than treated as victims of a crime, women and girls are being sent back to their home country as failed asylum seekers, where they are often re-trafficked.
We are one of 62 countries that have yet to convict a trafficker under laws in compliance with the Palermo Protocol. Now, please explain to me the gap between the government's policy and our lack of enforcing anti-trafficking laws.
To whom it may concern, I am very inspired by the survivors I meet at the shelter.
The women and girls embrace living in the present and move beyond the horrors of the past.
Silence will seal the fate of other trafficked women and girls. Many of them tell their stories to help prevent others experiencing the same torment.
When a survivor appears on television, her face permanently marred from sword cutting, there is no excuse not to join her in combating this crime.
God, give us the wisdom and courage to stand in solidarity with the enslaved. Together we will find ways to freedom, a human right, your gift to all.
Learn more about the trafficking of women and girls.
Raise more awareness about this epidemic in your community.
Apply more pressure to your government to sign and implement the standards set forth by the Palermo Protocol.
put more pressure on law enforcement, courts, and representatives to establish and uphold anti-trafficking laws.
Educate and empower more girls and women. Decrease the chances that they'll be trafficked.
Learn more, do more, because the trafficking of women and girls concerns us all.
To whom it may concern.
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 To whom it may concern. It concerns us all.
Trafficking concerns us all.
To whom it may concern. Trafficking concerns us all.
Trafficking concerns us all.
To whom it may concern.
It concerns us all.
Concerns us all.
It concerns us all.
It concerns us all.
Concerns us all.
Trafficking concerns us all.
Concerns us all.